Alright, tu sana thì CPRI Public Media Project in kan nei mia end up contributor end up nei pi tu hidoga Indian Isin kan president tu fang kan present ton lai pu siang nin lian se che pu siang loi mang US Chin pol pi Chin committee te mi president ton lai tu se ti zai be chan pek thero tam pi kan lung oi thì khamas be kan sim du discriminate bai ama sa chen ito ke tu instruction ke mak tuan hua nan ma lamisin 1-2 minute te chibai buk nak nan nei hua tu zan kan del ding thutlang pi che in peace and prosperity for the Chin people ti mi rem dai nak le than sau nak Chin pi ra jiang tu ka pi ti mi kan nan ma nan siding sule rom thalop kha tu on the way net an rak salingiจะมีค่าตัวจานกลางปีกันเดลนักสนี้หมายสารนั้นมาเห็นจะไปบุกนัก1-2 minute เชียร์ค่าจานกันมังตาไปหมดเลย Pretty simple.
Okay, thank you. Masabi ka tuzatana CBCUSAและ CBNA phone in and Dr. Mi Chin Peace Talk public media lain kan mazong nakan som cha Chin community of India na zong nakan som be cha tampi lom nakan nai atu liao kan ram thil sining zau ta hiben to kin biak nak lai ni nakan free mi de nak lai nakan pal pi mi chunga hen opat nakan pek na pathian zong nan ko khan nan lai rin naka thla chon bi na salo nan sadu tha zong tlam tin prap se ti mi kha ke me zong ka thla cham nak se ti mi te kha ka chim du to zana akan tal pi mi online za pi chunga lung dok dak pi ka nai ti mi te kha ka chim du ka lo
Okay, bữa sáng rồi.
tuy rằng zana hay chen hi to ni online huna chin patient reconciliation meaning it is very life ya chan mang in som ka kalung oi zet chale himi nan ma tron one tu pol se chale tron ro lai tu le midang dang kan se himi kan lai ga ma le kan chini phun ka la ka rem dai na thaina ding le kan chan song na ding hang wat lam chiao vi bo ding khala tha jang ka pe dui le tu chana nan ma himi tron one tu poli khó khăn nào lại cái nạp bẩn mỏ mà là mai là mặt làm trường ví và cần xin bị pizza thế không ạ thành năm nào lại thành số nạp sẽ tất kỳ làm tay nạp aga cần được phân các lạc thế nạp ví vào đến khla bát thiên năm nào phải ví vào sẽ tiệt cả kalau cha cái sim đuôi cho đi chun tu anh cha ni himi life in clear tu nan za te pa khla cần lông oi jet thì cả còn làm sim sẽ là cần lông oi
Long was it tu san che pathian thla son pe ge lai tlun mun tin tia contact da nine lai tlun mun tin tia na global in thil tha kan lo ma thei kalama thalo nak thu sia tam pi khal kha tu lo pi kan thei miam chawnan kalama atha tam pi kan lo mak thei mi kha pathian thla so se tu jana nan ma ve community bulpak tai ma zitin ramdanga bulpak insa nuam ten in nan hol thei nan tau thei sunan với tâm pi mi pi social nan tong ding nan chan tam pi le tik chu tha jang pe kin ve ki mi pun thwa nan tuan mi kha upan nak kan lo pek lui chen koram lama ram thang an tuan tu kan za ten kan phun tun din nak ding kan tuan wa bang lo nan kan tum ta mi chu ni pathian min solo nak le kan phun tun din nak siriga nan tuan mi kha ram thang na tuan tu ram laka se chen overground political se tuan tu le community na tuan tu pasa kani biak in suan na tuan tu kasala kan za ten number 1 pathian min son nak le kan mi phun tu de na sidika nan na tuan mi pol kha mas bia upanna kan lo pek dum si tu zana thutlang pi kan fe chi dingi kan rel ding mi chu nan ma ne sin tu community CPRI public media in nan ma veke ruadan sen pi bang klang thatna kan mi phun thatna kan ram thatna la khui to kan nak ram kla community society kan manak rama phurit petu selon thil thas wa tu nan siring timi mi pi in kai hoi in thoi ro veken tu jana tu fang kan ram din huna hen jiang tukun ha rem dai na longrol na khi kan mi phun thanga atuli chimicho ram lenga ummi thanga se leitlum pum pi um thak dar me lai mi chin mi por thanga se ram sung ummi thanga se jiang tukun rem dai na khi atupi peace and unity he jiang tukun ha longrol na rem dai na khi atupi timi kha nan pani nan mai nan to mi se jiang ek si mi nan nu na ke nan toni polin sim ding kha นั่นด้วยนะอินลอมนี่ค่ะกันเราสอนเดิมสิมาซะผู้เชี่ยวในเรียนกันสอนมาสเปโม
Okay, tampi kalom zelaw hi atu yi ramdang umi pol ha cha zetlakunda tu liaw yi ki unity hi bepi hale cha ta mi khasitita atu current timi hi my future chai a foundation to atu current is ago i atu ma am tuk chana hin foundation athami foundation dot nak ram nak unity and peace asimi foundation hi kan nei lo sa chun ma le ya hin lai mi ram le a hin lai mi dian hunin future hi kan banai te la ti hi ka cha ko rot khawlau ko ro nak sa lo zai rong ta chun hi man tukin unity กันในเราจนกันมะกันสินักลายมีพุ่นกันสินักกัน identity ฮีรำแรงจะกันวัดเท่าเท่าไรชินที่มี identity กันสินักกันวัดเท่าเท่าไรยาตัวฮักคาฟลัมที่มี identity คิดจะชิมเราชินที่มี identity มันคือกันวัดเท่าเท่าไร for example if we look at the Chin community of Indiana it is very inclusive to all Chin กันสิประเทศนี้ถ้าช่วยกันแบกยากันแบกรองตัวมาอันตัว unity กันได้เขา unity กันได้เขาที่แต่ชิน community of Indiana นี่เห็นใจระตัวที่การมาตัวมีจู we advocating for our people more promoting and preserving our culture and identity as a Chin to our local and international allies มันจะ donors อากันตัวมีปอลpartner ปอลฮัสินาไลมีพุ่นกันสนับอัตราเราดักหาดิ่งค่ะกัน identity กัน culture ถ้าจะ impressive กันตัวคนนะคะชิน community of India นั่นเนี่ยตัวคนเรียนกันตัวไม่สมาอีที่มันตุกี้ใจรองดัชิน community of India นั่นนี่ที่ใจรองดักันตัวโคตรสุนกันนี่ united กันเสร็จตัวตัวเดียวก็ชิมมันตกินone voice in กันกะลีฮีกันตัวคนไม่เสร็จนี่ตัวมาตกิน united ที่ลุงร้อนนะ if we are not united but divided โมชิน community of Indiana ที่มีสองเหตุมาเลยจะเอาเขาเลยที่เขากรวดเราอีกคำมันตัวเอาเขาเราที่อาจจะเจอสิแต่ส่วนตัวนี้ชิน community of Indiana นี่กันตัวมีทิลปูนะสองเหตุมาเลยอาจจะกันตัวเขาเด็กเรา and คำมันตัวเดียวมันกันแบบ if we don't have a unified community that represent its people as a whole we will surely lose our identity in the long run โมกันมีพื้นสนักค่ากัน identity ค่ากันเท่ากันเลยคำมันตุค่าคำมันตุค่ากันวัดเท่าเสียจนกัน identity มาเลยยะลายมีพื้นกันสนักชิมมีพื้นสนัก identity ที่การรำแรงกันเท่าจน yes we will surely lose our connection with back home ลายมีสิมีลายต่างเลยแฮปปี้เลยนักที่มีสองพันเลยจะกันวัดเท่าที่กันมาที่ได้saying that like in a sense of national identity more we will just become what I call gypsy national not Chin national ลายมีพุ่นที่มีคิมหายเลยวิสิตเราคือ gypsy national ตุกิกันบัดแล้วแต่ฮะจะรองว่าจะบรรทุกอินsaying that to avoid becoming gypsy national in the future more unity and peace are critically important for the Chin people abroad คำมันตุกลุงร้วนละกันได้ลองว่ากันมาซาพิเตอินกันลายมีพื้นสนักสงเฮรำแรงอาหินถ้าเตอินกล่าวเราเตหินกันที่กันฟุ้นต้มโคงมาดิ้งกันกันปีโคงมาดิซียูนิตี้กันในเราจนลายมีพื้นกันสนักสักนี้รำแรงอาหินพาเลจะกล่าวเตจะมีเด็กมารวมว่ายูนิตี้ฮีลายมีนี้จะกันเฮร์บิกมีรำแรงมีนี้จะกันเฮร์บิกเยสก็ตินะคะเกี่ยวกับหมดนึงเกี่ยวกับหมดนึงเสร็จ
ลุงอ้อยผู้เสียงผู้ที่จะเลยตุกะที่รอมผู้คลารอมคลารอมคลารแข่งใจค่ะ so welcome ที่ we just started ดูลองกันทอกเกค่ะที่รอมดูหุ่นน่ะมิโซต้องสวยดอนที่เราเป็นไงค่ะ
ไม่ใช่ตรงก็ตรงไม่ยังมาเซ็กไม่ใช่ตรงค่ะ I'm very limited so กันก็mix โดนนั่น
เปิดแค่อาจารย์เทียมจอกเท่านั้นคุณครับผู้เสียงปอนสวยต่ออาจารย์ผู้เสียงลงมาส่งอาจารย์นั่งอินสวยดอนเนี่ยอันนี้ผู้เสียงรวยมั้งตัว unity peace and unity ค่ะกันชินมีผลทางอาจารย์ทุกทุกปีแต่มีค่ะนั่งมาสิบสักก็แล้วที่
เอโลกันลุงอ้อยกันชินมีพุ่นกักละกะยังตะกินรู้วันนังเลยให้มี ได้นักพี่เซนจุนเตียป่วยหมดเตียจนตุยกันดินหุ่นเตียงเกมก็นาหักลายสินตุสุนิเตียงกันนี่ชินมีปอลฮีอ่าก็จะแกหมายหูตนเนี่ยกันลุงก็จะเก่ากับหูมีเทรนคัดปอลินค่ะกันลุงก็เรากันมอเตียอันรถเชวีชิมันเซล่ามินุงติจุกันหิทุมติกาอากาศลักที่คัดเวกิรับลุงก็เราเลยยังมอทุฟัตเตจูเก่าดิ่งนั้นชิมันเซอัตลังพิทุจนกันลุงก็จะเตียกันว่าทีอาศินานินตุยกันเที่ยวจะเวกินตุยหิมี ท้องที่เรากลุ่มกุลวนขัดกอลรัมปีเบอร์ว่ากันติดงี้รัลกับกอลรัลกับโปลินกันติดไม่ดิ้งที่มีโปลียังกันติดนึงฮะเอทุนในนักหลังนุยอาจจันมีโปลกันเจ้าติกาลุงวันเรานักอสวกผาวิโอตลาบังเอสีขลาสีอินกัมหุยจุดที่กาที่มีลุงวันนักฮีเล่ที่มีปุ่มขันนักกันในเราเสียจนกันชินมีปีโปลฮีกันสุนัขดิ้งลีละสิ ทุกทีมนากับ political lams kelas social lam kelas lah azaten kan sunna ding policy development kelas lah tuh tim naga political lam vek kelas lah kalau rampi al sungi cekan chin ramlong silawin ramleng ummi kan chin mi pol khal kan lungwal thailo hi mi pum khanna kan nei lo sia chun pakhat le pakhat then theo na umdingi chule thul ha khal pakhati thu adu mi le pakhati dang thu adu mi khal kan ปมกขัดเทโลเสียจนมีพุนกันเทนเทกอกอาเซียจนมีพุนคาฟเตียกันจังวีเราดึงอันนี้ที่บีกาจุกันมีพุนชินมีพุนที่มีเตียงค่ะนวลเราก็อินเฟปีเทติค่ะก็หูดันสิจุกันทุกทีมนักเกย์ฮิตอกอเมริกาก็เทนนัวจ้าจนตุยกันฟ้าเลตเตนาฮักเตปอลฮี kan ma upalam pol mo asilo le upalam silo khale hitive ki lami pol lungrol lo le then thewa nak thuan te helan thei tika khin angai pe lo angai pa lo in tlan san men ni chu de ga thu tim na tui kan ka community pol kan ton kho na relationship kan nei ding pol mo khal kha kan hlau thu ding à kan tu le kan fa sana chun chin ka si ti mi man kha an tio du non lo ding ti kha a fiang zatin ka mu chu ga chun kan hangai thu pi ngai chu ga himi lungol nak le himi pum khan nak thu pi bi ki kan thin lung kan ken chiu ding a khan ka fa fel lo dui chu long si lo thu tim na ga tu kan ni ram leng ummi pol la chu kan fa le pol kha khati ve ki an thin lung sunga e ปุ่มคัดกันสีกันอีชินพุ่นกันสีกันซาแต่ดูนาวกันสีสุลคัดกว่ากันสีตีอันเฟียงละวะเสียจนกันเฟียงละวะเสียจนกันเมนเลนกันดินมองกันโฮมเลนกันขวาและกันรำลายตังชินรำเล็กโกรำมันค่ะอันทุ่งไปนอนเรายังมันเสียนักคะแนนนอนเราดึงจุดที่กันจนกันตีบางอัดสุ่งตัวเลยยังกันตีดึงค่ะที่มีอ่า เท่าตัวเองคัจกันมาเท่ากันสิจังหวะที่มีคณะเป็นกันถิ่นหลงสงะเสละอภัยมัวเจียค่ะกันจะเต็นนักสัจตินวัดหลังเสละที่ข้าเกกับฟักเฟลด้วยจังหวะจนตูฟังหินอะไรเจนยังกันที่ดึงฮะหวยตูลำโพลกันนี่จะชินกรมที่จะเสียทีเดียวจนกันที่บางเฮียเทจังเทตอกินกันมากันนี่ข้าฟังคอมมิวนิตี้กันสกอนั้น kan falam community ga la hin nam fate te la jiang ma nim ne pum khasela khavek pol mo kha pakhat man tui chin community jo ase kan ma sunga hin theidan na khalum lo jang man lo ten kan za ten ka na ha opa ti lom kan tel tlang hlui hlom ka ten kan siman sela khat vek lu wal na lo sibang sela kha pol kan hlom kho ma thelo ni khwa chun kan na kan sung kan ti bangin kan mi phun khala fate vi lo dingi kan mi phun tiang kan culture se se กันจะอะไรกันต้องปอดคาเซ่เราวีบอกดีนวมจะเตียนอาจารย์ยังกันติดหาสำรังจะตินกันเรากันเทียติค่ะเกี่ยวกับมูดันซีจุดเลยที่มีทุกทีมนักกันรวมข้อมูลที่ปุ่มขันนักกันในสีกันเมียดดิ่งมีผลมั่วจะยังสิติเลยจุกันที่เรียกินเปิดแล้วนักทากันในติกากันรวมข้อมูลเลยประคันเนลงนาดูดอนนาดิ่งมีพุ่นตุ่มปีกันจังดิ่งจุดที่กันที่มียังกันติดหนึ่งฮะlife of quality ค่ะตั้มปีกันทางสาวดิ่งกันมีพุ่นปอลขันตัวเทียมนา education ลำคาเซ่ social ลำคาเซ่ละประคันเลยประคันบอมบอยโอเคกันจังจังอาเซียจนนักแสดงกันมีผลนี่ตูมดิ่งก็สินดิ่งจักสินดิ่งสำคัญเต็มที่ค่ะก็ว่านักกับมูดันซีจะมีผลหัวค่ะกันซาเตรวมพลังดิ่งอะไรกันมีน้อยเสกันอุปลัมปอลค่ะเสกันทิ้งลงสุ่งปุ่มขันนั่นเลยจังฮะลงกันนักปอลหัวกันทิ้งลงสุ่งทุกปีบีการเรตินเกี่ยวกับลางซีที่ค่ะก็เราสมัยกันลงไว้
Lungoi pu siang loi mang. Nan panin in sem dika. Kan che mi punin lung rol nak chu jian tu tapi ti sala che mi pun lau nak ting tiang atlang thai din man. Next generation polin kan fale polin chin mi pun kan si ti man pom du non lau tiang din man tiang atlang thai mi pun lau kan si nak ding khal kha. Anga je gol al kap polin jiang tu mana kan mi pun al lau ter thelo. Siga kan lung kim cheu kalam dia. Ral ka polan lau ter thelo. Asinan kan ma kan lung rual lau sele kan dawok sele chu kan mi pun lau ding timi kha tu jana insim mi pol hi kan mi pun za ten jing kang cheu ra ha sai sela patien thason pe kram se pu rom tu na man thesela rom kan som ding ani hi tu uh, Harvard University Political Science Training minau hito America ma thang len mi line pung chin pung kala the American pung kala the chen entrepreneur company ma tero reading the minau kan nei mi kan ren san mi rising star kan ma chin mi pun la kan nei mi se rom he kan zavai tan kan min kan na tlak tan rising star nia ma se kan rama har sanale he mi tribal politics vel nen hian in kung kai lo influence lo wa relu thiang taka mi kan nam mga em ania graduate educated well educated ania chuan company ama entrepreneur din thei po ania chu wang chuan heda kan zo du chu hey kan rama buina nam le nam in do na tisen chuan ate in triat hian eng tinge how do you react to that how do you feel and then hey hian eng thenge a khoi cheta how much it caused damage and what we look on the loss ยังไงกันจานพังที่อิรรวมค่ะมินรอนการง่ายทตุเตตานมินรอนใส่สักละยังรวมกันสองตอนเนี้ยตัวน่ะ
Okay. First of all, Galom, the government invite ka. I'm very glad that you guys invited me to just join this discussion with our distinguished guests here. I am a little bit late. I've just arrived here in Indianapolis. Currently in an Uber, so I apologize for the lack of visualization of my face as well. But ano, kasi jo tamno in no break at you no her sig na chu kan mi ho kan unaw le kan unaw te kan nu le pa te no her sig no na uncle kami himi wang khan na swa wang khan na khan no ngating e tai hian US from a hen kan ong kha kan tek ngai US from a kan in addition to no to na ano kan rom chu an boy wang khan US rom a khan kan om. So why are we in the United States? That's a question that I ask myself a lot. Why are we here? I think the youth need to also understand that, why are we here? Sometimes we forget about our heritage, our lineage, because we live in the Western society, the American society. Sometimes we tend to forget, right? So, can think time from time to time. And I'd like to make that question all the time: is why are we in the United States? We're here because we came from a very destitute place, a third world country, a place that is always in peril and fighting military authoritarian and dictatorship. So that's why we are in the United States. So first of all, so car first of all, refugee definitely. I think a refugee here, political asylum. To have our own people fight against each other is very counterintuitive to what we should be doing. It's very discouraging to the youth and to everyone else. And Chin State is a very small state. The population is not that big, and for us to be this fragmented is very discouraging. And what I think we should do is, I think this tribalistic mentality, and I've never been a supporter of any sides, or I've always been an advocate for unity amongst our people. We say unity, but unity has never been achieved in the Chin people, from my understanding. Sorry, my Mizo is kind of gone at this point, but I think the best way I can articulate myself is as English at this point because I really want to get my message across. But unity has been something that we've wanted to achieve as a Chin people, but achieve the unity ค่ะกัน achieve กันสวยเรื่องตัว unity ที่ไง unity กันเนี่ยทีมาเซ็กกันเนี่ยทีหรอ still to this day we don't have it. We have this pride. Our Chin people are very prideful, and we have egos, and we have all types of other organizations involved, and that creates fragmentation, not just among Chin, even Karen, Kachin, they have different groups within their state as well. So the effect, how it affects us directly is that it affects us to morale. Our morales are low, and it affects us through our families, our churches, our organizations, and it also kind of incentivizes or it makes the SAC, the military, have a battery in their back. It makes them more powerful. So this is the number one thing. The number two questions that I would like to ask: why are we here? Number one, and number two, how can we achieve this goal into having democracy in our country? Those are the two really important things I think we should have the questions we should ask ourselves. And the other thing is that think of the new generation. My generation is already considered new generation, right? So get money, new generation can thought like Reverend Shui Meng is older generation, me, right? I'm the new community generation, no, get my new generation. So think about the generation after me. The generation after us. We must think about the youth and our children, our kids, in their future. Do we want them to grow up with hate, and hate against each other? And
Mm.
and Zange generation akangai for peace and unity. How many generations must we sacrifice for peace and unity? Generation akal tam to so tuna. Kan new lepa generation ya kan new lepa generation ito kema generation ani leto. Kan kema father generation di kana omte to. This can't happen anymore. How many generations must this take? So I think those are the questions that I kind of ask myself in this. For our youth, from my knowledge of our youth, they don't really see each other as separation or different ethnic. They see each other as Chin people, and I think that it takes time to heal. But how much time does it take to heal? So I think we, as especially our leaders, they need to take that consideration. The pride, the ego, we have to step that aside in order to have peace and unity, and we must think about it for our children. So, thank you.
Thank you, Ram. Stay there. So we'll have you another question, okay, please. Then alo mom nước tức call in pine alo thelo in ron tel tang tang mi pui le tun lai kan bảo rot ngay poi mo wang ne kan lom nước tức. Okay, next question chuan kan soi how to rain kan rel ding mi chu. Community leader Paul, the Tuzana USA community to be continuing, Indiana Chin community to very exemplary. Chin community tia kanruam is very inclusive tia kanruam is si to me a president le to USA Chin community of USA to me flam community dirapanin and sirika. Himi Chin mi pun Paul lung rual nak rem dai nak Chin peace and unity rangan. Chin community Paul and Jian si responsibility ton bonan na timika. Sila jiang mi sinan tua mi polum timitaan sim di kolam hasa pu siang lang main simula chen pu siang nin kan sompai.
Kalung oi. Si himi peace and unity hanga chun kan ni chin community le kan ma chin community jo se long silawin community leader pon ma main ton ho kan nei chule chumi long silawi tua atlu na khamal te kan rel zawi himi 2021 si hitibe kol rampi boina ruangi rachang mi hong pol ma isi token arai digo tika ก็คันส่งเบียงนักส่งเตียงอ่ะแทงกันมาคอมมูนิตี้ส่งลงสิลวินจุดที่ก็อพุ่นหอยตู้ปอลปาสตาปอลก็เราตีนักส่งลวินมั้งปาสตาเช่นคัดเสร็จจุดเช่นหอยตู้ปอลมั่วกันมาคอมมูนิตี้เสร็จจุดเช่นมีนาวลำหอยตู้นูบูลำหอยตู้เตียงอินเสร็จฟุ้งห้องที่ก็อิมแพคอมที่ก็คันกันซาเต็นจวนเรากันในทุกที่มีค่ะปักขันนักก็คนซิมสิเสร็จละอีจุดที่ก็ขามีปอลิน tuy kan kolgam sungi chule supporter tiang kan tige chumo imi sumla pai bom tu pol tiang khan tron vo kan nei thui chumi wanga thutim na ka hito ram lengi si ummi polin thula han se sumla pai se kan support mi pol khan hiti ve ki boina ta au avung ta ka chun male khwale male bial ti ve male yang ha thin lung ho de mi pol le khu ma yang ma kha kan support chiao kan bom chiao ti ka kimi ram sunglam khala se ha sanak tum pi thei then che onak tam pi thei chumi ruanga khan hito ki kan ma ram leng omi pol hi amai si ka tron lo kan nei kan ni chin committee je se tla chu tui kan mai din hun dek sile kan ni hi 2022 an rak kan pal kan ule pol an rak thoki hito ka sa hai mang tla tel thok tua chutika pahimi chin committee je se chu political nam nai la se ti tiang an rak ti tu su ni tiang kan ni sorry 2002 mo an ka mi to ka kerel sol pang ba political annam nei lo ding ti mi hak fe pi da si cho tu su ni tiang kan ni chin pol pi je se chun hi mi ram sung boi nak se chu chin hi kan ma chin kar laki chin phun kar laki boi nak remok lo nak ti vek pol mo ma hi tu su ni tiang atel da lo atel lo vekin hi mi jiang tin rem na om thering ti kha man tu son kan si tu phang khala chun kan ma hi mi chin yang din committee Paul leaders Paul kha hi tok zoi siu mi Paul mo ma kha zu meeting thot lan kan nei zun sorry mei thasin kan thoki thatum lai kan thok nan do ven kan se chak the lawi yan tin la kan mi phun kar la ka rem na ding phi sum thai ding le unity thai ding ti kha hai he mang lo tia chin công ty zoi se hin chang thei tok chu ma kan la nan tu su ni tiang chu do ve kin kan fe tuang thế thì căn phệ tuang cầu nắn cả căn đủ việc kiến căn phệ sốt thế thì rồi chỉ mi khala nan za ten tha en ten khala kalau som be đi cho nga himi pol mo mo laka jianga thupi bik tia sia chun himi kalung rol na le kan pum khado na ding in don kham tu amai sibi ka kan thei tu li chumi chu si tu tui khoi tu pol mo man tron lo kan nei ka ti mi pakhat thupi bi ka chun chutika thutim na pakhat na ka kan thei ding mi chun kan ma internal conflict kan ti thau mi hi kan mai sungi jiang ha kan bangok thelo mi la kan elok thau mi la kan kho thelo mi ti mi pol kan hol suwa ki chumi kha chawai pa hi ti tu ve ki tha te thula ha kan wok ning athupi bi kin number 1 ka re ti chuti ga chumi kan rel khom the sia chun kan chin phun ka la ka hin rem dai na le hi mi pum khat sinak hi athang so vi oding ti ka wadi chuti ga apakhan na sorry adang le poimo le pakhat chu kan ha sat theu mi chu pakhat le pakhat kan rin sanok kan rin ngam thelo trust building control trust building kan nei lo tika thu la kan rel khom thelo nak khala si ti alangi chuwa himi khala hin pakhat le pakhat tui hoi tu pol mo mon biak nang lam hoi tu se community leader se mina hoi tu se nubu tiang in nubu hoi tu tiang in hi pol hi kan mai in tron bom hai sibi ka himi trust building to dinga tron lo kan nei ti mi khal kha ka chau dui chuwa mai lam nga chun he la mang lo tia chang the tokin ma kan lak ding khala ka som hai chuwa chun support sorry supporter pol tiang mo ka yang lo ta supporter pol hi kan poimo supporter pol khalin thei to ki ma kan lak tul chule hi mi a hin on tu ve ki online ti stream na supporter pol se midang dang se kan za ten online mang pol hin online kan thu kan rel kan tong tika he le mang lo tia pakhat le pakhat re mo lo na la pakhat le pakhat yang ka ti ding ha hodong nak tong kam ki atam za cheu ikamu tika kariya sengai ngai kimi pol hin inset so tu number 1 karla ka tel sitin kamu chunga himi pol kha kan za ten supporter group se supporter lo kha se online mang tu po khan kan ma chin mi karla ka til online kan tu tika fan kan hol mo hol lo mo asi mana kan tong kamra ling cheu ten he la mang lo tia chang thei to ki kan khel dinga kalau som hai himi 2021 ni call ham abuai peka kan ma chim gom ti ju se pol hi kan advisory ku pol thon meeting kan nei ec pol meeting kan nei tika amhai sebi ki kan mu song mi chu kha tu ve ka hi ve boi nak theng asinan online si thu kan tong him la thu kan sim him tika agam sung umi pol kan naw le pol asilo le ram le ngi kan naw le pol i tha thau ding zong le kimi asilo zong e fe pang ding kha kan tong kam kan hang him lo pe a that nak zong ten kan thin lung sunga hi kol kan pi thleng dan kan du ko siman sela khati ve ki chok thau zong le asilo zong chok set ding zong i tong kam hang lo ding a tia na sa ten kan chawi chuwa kan ma le group te khala se khapon mo ma kha tron do ta lang si tia kan ga hel dang henge chuwa tu su ni tiang i khami kan rel mi pol ka vun zo tika tu su ni tiang atak taki himi kan ma chin mi laki lung ro lang nang le then theo na phun phun in to tu khale online mang tu pol le kan supporter pol se midang dang kha se kan tong kam kha tam pi man mi sin tampi thila festival asik pe mo ti kha ronak ka nei chuwa chen himi thu khala se kan za ten ra ring film ko te tong kam kan mangi tha jang tha zong in le pum khat kan sina zong tang tlangi kan jiang ha kan ral asimi mo kan za tra la simi son kha tu them na kap ona kan du lo se tun kap ona kan do tlang ding son focus in kan mai sunga pum khat sinak son kha tha yang to chiawi chu chan kan man chiao ding le thu kan sim tlang le kan tha kan peo ding khal kha ka ke chun tha ka ti ka du kha ve pon mo kha kan za ten tui hoi tu pon mo moin mang ken ko dinga ka lo som se ka lung oi
rồi pu xem lại tu sẽ là the same question ka the pu xem ni liền President Chin Committee Indiana kan sa nuk payment
alo si atu hi bentuk leo dia mun leo hin community level in zaira remnak nan to mi ta bentuk city ga ken kan ni chin community of Indiana hi rarin te kan kal i zero ga ta cha tu leo kan boy bai mi hi zo ta tribal base in boy bai na city da hin kan ni chin community pe thian dot nak thong an tu ni tiang ga ha kha flam ti dim ti la peng tlang dang vel te fat ni kin kal li tu ni tiang boy bai nak kha kan nei lo ti da khan hi ben tu boy bai nak ni hin kan ma chin community so zo alu lo nak kha ti ga ti mi hi ra ring ngai ti kan kal li chin community level in hin ya zen te lai atu liu yi kan tan mi boy bai nak ko ngai hin kan ma ni zai men chol chak nak chu kan nei lo ti mi pakhat mo saman salo kap khat le yin ke mi zo tu zana chin community foi tu pakhat in som ka city ta ke mi zo community pa pol he na tla na kan nei mi cha vakal ko lo kan ti adi ka ke mi zo hi min tu ka hin wi dang zonga online hi live a hin phoi si dang zong he kan som to ne zeti mana ka tal bella I always decline any invitation. And this is the first ever I accepted because it's come from the religious organization and it's about peace and unity. And also this is the first time I accepted because I always decline in the past invitation for any other organization, only because we care peace. And the community, the Chin community of Indiana also want me to be participating in this talk because like this is highlighting about peace and unity. See, community dear hunin community tam pi hika pen tlang tribal lai zong se pen tlang lai yin thrui tu tam pi an cheu yi hin responsibility hi tam big kan nei ka ro ten ka mu tu na ya u kan u siang loi zong ne chen ban to kan atu online atu yi kan boi mi thil hi atam pi a rok tu hi online in bichim hang mi pol he kan tam ngai e online bichim hang mi pol na ni hin journal active jong he ai an chong ma chong no thai la bo an du ni pa bia an chim chu ti ta thil an to chu ti ta zain la hin hin thil hi tam pi kan ma lai mi unity kan ne kho na kan ti hin akan ro tam pi ma ni akan ro ti hin ka mu ngai hi ka community tribal level zong se zaim to aphai si regional level zong se lo free to pol na ni hin chu kan nei atha ti ka phu mi chu kamma zain tela we have to rise above our local loyalty te mi ke mo peace kan to kho na kha ding chu kamma local loyalty kan nei mi na khin asang de kin kan kalki hawai tiki kamu ikan biya chimmi pulna nihin buin nak chuak tak chin lawin dai na chuak nak kadinga hin shui tu vial ti nihin tawon kan nei ti mi chu ka ho ma chu thrui tu ni hin a big in truthful communication and accountability ti mi hi batak te ni promotion to piak in mi ni aman lo mi ti an dak chim mi pon na zo kan batak te dau ngam le chim ngam hi atunia hin community level in thrui pu pon ha ve te ni tuan vo chu kan nei ngai ro ti zo ka ho mi se i ma le i lai mi pon na ni unity kan nei khot nak tak ha dinga hin chun a big in kan ma ni kan hek ngai mi chu atui to do ka chimman to in local loyalty hi kan lot tam set he how ngai hi kan lot hu lo a hin kan ma lai mi ni hin unity ti mi zo kan nei khong ngai mi la tin ka roi si atui kan bui ngai mi hi local loyalty he tam kan ta pi ma ro hin kan ma a hlai in ram leng a chang mi pon na ni hi chu hi man to pol local loyalty hi chu kal ta khau nau so lo lai mi zo hi pa ne chun rol ram nak hi kan nei khong ngai lai ti ki dan chu se
Kalau itu pu senin tu kan ni chinwi pol chu te pengtena ni pi pasal takan ne ote te chela flam long anam lo chen ha long anam lo te di long anam lo kan chop pol te chan ram leng sin chu kanam tlang te na kan tuan tlang ni pi pasal kan ne o na kan tuan tla dor tla kan tua tiga mun kate kanam lo le chu har sanak tam pi kan ne chen kalama Ramleng community leader Paulin, tribal leader Paulin, group te Paul kan Ramsong ke ta ten kan til thalami tha jang kan pek le chu tu luk boy nak chom lo ding kan za ten kan lung kim tlang cheu ko ding kazum tunan simika Ramsong e boy nak ke ashram pi big son chu Ramleng i ten ten nak Paul le tangkale kan nei phone te hilami sponsor kan phone tiga Emi malak local committee te kan nemi patien to amis ko kan ma le pengklang du dot ka swal seloi san kami leng lama kan lani kan ma chin timi son ka atluna kan de thering nan semi ka kan za pi te tlan nga cheuring ka zumi chena tu patien za fana tu zan ve ken amerika rama alan kan na hak la cha amerika rama tlong ka degree nga pakat nga timi chu ke na fana patien te zaun kan rak zau mi seแต่ประเทศทศวรรษเปกีกันชินมีตาตุจันตลามันนึงปฐมเราเรียนอเมริกันมาดีกรีลองท้าทายดีกรีงะตุกันเราในที่กะอินโทรตุกันเราในที่กะรสนักตั้มปีกันในรอมสเลรอมเนี่ยนะกันเฟดิงี้รอมพระทศนักจูเมื่อเราต้องการซิมโกรอมนั่งมาใน convenient บิค่ะ How can young generation protect itself from the influence of hatred indoctrination and tribal politics, and also what can a young generation like you contribute toward the peace and unity of our people? And being a young generation how can hey headed indoctrination and tongue in ben him thianga chuan peace and unity and thing a thlai how can man lak thiang ti kha zo na chunia I remember tuna kanon soi thiang em
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good question, and that's a question that has been asked many times. Apakana chu and lo indoctrination chu it stems from family and stems from just not the families but also the communities and that where they belong to. So when we think about the Chin community, we the youth think about their sometimes their families community, which maybe belongs to the Falam community or the even the Didim community or the Zomi or the Hakka community. So it all stems from where they call themselves where they belong to in terms of their family. So I think which is very important as well to have heritage and roots to be remembered. But at the same time, I think that we need to have a better idea of a community not being just our specific ethnic group that we belong to, but indoctrination takes place only when you allow it to. I think a lot of our youth, they see themselves not just as Mizo or not just as Falam or Haka or Didim. I think a lot of our youth are involved in events that make us mingle with one another, talk to one another, And I think the biggest weapon to be against indoctrination is to have dialogue and discussion amongst one another. So I think that the Chin community in Indiana CCI has like a sports annually sports event, and that is extremely inclusive. So when they have these sporting events, Falam people and Hakka people and Zomi or whatever other ethnic groups, they talk to each other on those events and those sporting events and those other dialogues and discussion that's being taken place. So I think that's very important. So having discussions and dialogue is our number one step, and having an open mind and open thoughts about where things are is also a good way to kind of overstep that indoctrination. And as for youth, I think that the youth can really be more involved with helping this by raising their voice, having more opinions. A lot of our youth, they tend to stay away from these type of conversations, and I think it's a lot of the youth, they feel like the words don't really matter. Their voice and opinions don't really matter. So, but I always tell the youth, your voice is your power, and your voice is uh, one of those biggest weapons that you can have. And the the generations that are doing these or separating us or getting away, they won't be here for long, so it'll be the youth, so it'll be their generation that will have to kind of be in that shine light in the future. So the youth needs to get involved in having more discussions and dialogues, voicing their opinions, and also helping out, right? Helping these peace talks like we're doing currently, being involved. I think that becomes a very big step and a hurdle that we can overcome in the future. So in Mizo, I can't really speak that in that extent, so I apologize. I know I'm supposed to be speaking Mizo, but I think I think those are the two things that I want to discuss and take away from the questions.
Thank you, Ram. I think we should have in later sometime we plan to have the English session and your generation ways too. We can call others young generation to talk more about peace and unity as well. And there somebody must stand up. Minaw lakisin tang thar tang khan tuwe mokha adin chuangai ni. Asoy chuangai ni. Someone has to stand out and speak it out. This is our voice, this is our generation, this is our responsibility. Kan nam lungrol na tan nagina lalpa namang ang tipo koringa. Irulu dam tak su karya kan lom kan MMA nang maang tang lai ta tang thar smart and wise and very intelligent, very progressively taking responsibility and leading your generation. I think your generation will also listen to you too, and parent generation they will do. So, to kanzate net the big closing remark, kan ngai nak chance ding. Rom, we are going to have closing remark. You can spend more the minute, whatever you have for our people. Kan mila satan so do in the car allowing ngai to sola do not chuan masabarin pusyang nin kan so mga pusyang loi mang chuan rom nanong bera closing remark kai into chen so te ne to remna le daina kandam mipun unity and peace zian to gena to pi ya te bekin tu kan tuan tu si himi kan ne lo le zian to seso ti mi pol kha simling kan som page.
All right, thank you. Our strength lies in our unity. No matter our tribe or region, we share one history, one identity, and one future. Zuranga Malaya kan ma kan lung kan rol lo sia chun zaiti mana thang chawwa ding mi phun gan se lai lo lung rol nak long ni hin mi phun than chaw nak a chot pi lai a hlai in ram lenga kan ti da kan lung a rol long a unity will empower us to preserve our cultural identity in abroad, to support our people back home again and build a better future for the next generation. If we don't have that unity, we'll never achieve those national purpose or the interest that we have as Chin. มารองอ่ะลายมีพุ่นนี้กันลายมีพุ่นอัตราเราหนักฮะติงอ่ะ a big in can help with unity he see unity he kan ha falam than tlang dim tin sak lai thlang lai lai mi viu te kan font di long long a hin unity kan dai kho ta ka ding si so ban unity kan dai kho na ka ding a hlai in menau pun ni rồi nạc aman lami kan dau dinga taw kan nai chun ratha te in malaya zaitinda hi man tungin alwan chemi chana kan pi pu phra chani kan doktan chang mi animosity mo irem lo nak hatred hi zai ruang la tu ni tianga inheritance rawit min to kan lai mi phun pol sina atu ni tianga hi man to animosity hi a te lo nak ka dinga atu minau pol na ni betak te hi đậu thì ngã tuần vào dòng gần đấy ra tha thì in thì mình tục khi đậu đậu ngầm thảo sĩ thì mình thì dòng khác cái cả số tụi mình là sẽ tập bị cả lô
Rồi push lui.
Elo kalong oi. Si tuyan kan thơ pi thon pe pa hoin. Rem dai nang le long wal nak kan ti vekin kan mi phun kan chin mi phun hi kan rem dai na ngai nga na ding le long wal nak ngai nga na ding chun mai sibi ka kan sina kan thei fiang ok tul chin mi ka si tia kan thei fiang ok ki kan pom nget tlang kha thu bi bi kin ka hoti chawanga tui sun tui jana hemi chin mi phun ka si ti man kan thei fiang ok lawi thu tim na ka khat le khat tui kan ti bang chen thewang na le hem lo nak thoi kan uma sia chun kan mi phun ka fate ji lo ding ti kan sim zo chawanga khati byak pon mo kha kan ban san chu chuwa kan sinak thei fiang dinga kalau som hai chin pakhat chin mi phun ka si ti mi pakhata kan za ten phun kho mai long wal dinga kalau som bet si chu lenung tun dan si kau hi mi hin nam fa te le tribal trap te le clan te ni chu lenung tun dan kan si kau siman se la tu kan rel zo vekin kan chin ram le kan chin phun nak pon mo ke chu chin mi ka si tia kan phun kho mo ki kan pom heta sia chun lungwa lo nak ding jiang man umin kamu lo mi zo kam kan zo thima sile nai bi ka e thutim na ka aizol district lunglei district apun phun district jiang ma za line nei siman sela khai district pakhat le kho pakhat sunga khan mi phun sorry tui hin ham te mo klan fa te pol khatam pianum zo manin khai klan si khan lak hanok mo asilo le khon thedon nok phuni jiang ka ti ding mu so mo na ta nak phun jiang man lo ten mi zo tia anum an pom rem thấy thủ thì cả long roan le chak jena fe ti kha kan thấy ding cho wa kan ni khal hi amai si ga chun kan mi phun hi chin tia long roan tlang hi kan hin nam fate te le kan ummi pol ho ma chu kan ma le kan nak miu ne kan ti ding ma si lo khale khon khu to kan khwa kan nak mo kha to sunga kan za ten cho pol che thu zo kan si tu kan rel zo bangin nu pil pasal kha kan nei khwalan kan pil kan pu san sin ral san la chu khwalan at san la chan thak dau ko man nan chuang lai khala angai ngai kan ti le chu nu pi pasal khan nei thau thau ral thak dau ki anat tu ho nga si chu te ka khwalan na chun ral thak dau man kin pong pa thai thau man du chuang lo ngai ngai kan ti le chu mo chu wa i kan ni chin mi him chu thena the kha kan si lo mun khati tang kan si ding akan si reng reng tul ti mi khal kan tung puta tum pi sela chutik longa mi phun tum pi kan sidingi mi tu kan rel zo bangi ala amhalam kan rel zo bangin politically le socially khala se mi za tlak le mi upatlak kan si thena ding akhan kan tum sin sini ma chin ti ma mun khatte kan kan tlang ning kha athopi bi kin karwati chutika tui khari kha pol mo khala khan tron vo nei tu kan ti zo kha ko khan sunga se community sunga se chui sin minau nubu tiang in hoi tu pol mo kan sa ten tu ti ve ki then the ko tum tu le then the nak tong kam se then the ko re ro zau mi pol au ma si khale kha pol mo khal kha kan ma tron wani tu le hoi tu polin kau kir sal suin kan ni mun khatte kan si sul khat kwal kan si unau kan si kan so ke nak bango si ti mi kha sim fiang i kan za ten mun khata tlang sa yang atin na kau kir sal ro anak mun khatte fe tlang ding khala klau som beti Joganga tui kan ti na bangin supporter khala tel thau thau supporter lo khaten kan tel thau thau online sin se kan za ten thu tha le kan che kan chin mi phun hangi kan that nak ding le kan lu ron na le kan ma son na ding pol son ao tlang in le sim tlang chiao ning khala ton lo kan nei si ti kha nin lo tinga kalau som be dui chuwanga leilung tlu na chun kan ti zo kha mi phun tam pin adan si ko siman sela kan ni jiang kan si ti mi kan thei fiang ok ma lama ke kan ka vi bo dinga kan thin lung na pin mang si ti kalau som chuwanga rem dai na hi kan zo si le chu hiam he pa loi atak taka chun du don nak sunga aumi kan thin lung sunga chui du don chu kan thin lung sunga si ti mi khal na zetin tu suna da tu jan khala kalau cha du si chuwanga mi pakhatin jiang kan ti ding ha mi pakhatin suala pu tiga a thin lungi si a thin lung ronga pu mi si chuwanga kan thei chiao boi su khri kha sualan pui kalvari tlang tiang khen ben a tha si siman sela jisu chu du don nang nei tu le rem dai nang nei tu si kan sa tiền kan fiang thu ko chunga tu su ni tia kan le lung pia hin rem dai nak ham se thang ham se tia thang thang nak sa ra sak tlang ding in le kan za tiền kan chin ni phun hanga khat le khat kar laga du don nak thon rem dai nak tung ding vi lo usila tia kalau so mi kan chin ram le kan chin mi phun pol kan za tiền pathian in kil himin thosona pe chaw ham se kan lung oi
And lungai. Aram, nanung bara the closing remark ka idu du real
Okay.
so itu ka samche.
Okay. The closing, I'll keep it really briefly as we're probably limited on time at this Sunday. First, I think I've reiterated this, but I think that it's very important to keep saying is that can think like we have to think about them. We got to think about how many years that we've been divided, and we've got to also think about this military regime that has been dictating over our lands for generations. How long will this benefit them, and how long will this take, and how many more generations that we must sacrifice in order to have peace and unity? And the other thing is that we need to avoid any type of armed conflicts as much as possible. I know how difficult it may be with roots and of hatred of fighting for a long time and being divided as we are. You know, the SAC, they're having this thing called the divide and conquer method, and they're divide as we are divided, we're going to be more easily conquered. We have to unite and be stronger. And you know, unity has something that everyone has been saying for a long time, but we must do it. We must do it. And I think our leaders here and our youth as well, in collaboration, this is achievable. We just need to want to achieve it. We need to have the heart to achieve it. We need to have the passion to achieve it. And I think it can be done. And I think that our youth, and not just our youth, but also some of our elders as well, I think we want this peace, we want this unity. I think it takes a collaborative effort, like Chin community, Indiana, Falam community, the Mizo community, Matu community, Zomi community. I think we need to collaborate. This is a collaboration effort. This can't be involved in one group. It's got to be every group, and we have to see each other more than our ethnics. You know, we have to see each other more than like Falam. We must see each other more than, you know, Hakka, Tentlang, Zomi, Mizo. We have to see each other more than that. We have to see each other as Chin and also human beings, you know, fellow Chin people that we come from the same backgrounds. We came from the same hardship. We're here in the United States because we come from the same hardship. So I think those points are very imperative. And I think that I would really encourage our youth to get more involved in just having discussions and dialogues with our elders as well, and with our community leaders. And whether they think that it's not important, but it really is. You know, when they speak with our leaders, that leaders really do listen sometimes. And I think that we need to keep pushing and being passionate. Of course, this doesn't take in 24 hours. We're not going to have peace and unity. This takes reiteration, time and time, and in order to have this goal to be achieved. I believe we can do it. I believe our elders can do it, and I believe our youth can do it. We just need to have a multi-pronged strategy and have a collaboration with all of our organizations, like Chin Community, Falam Community, and other communities as well. And I believe we can do it if we want to. So those are my closing remarks. And lastly, I'd like to actually say is thank you so much for CPRI, the Chin Peace and Reconciliation, for joining and also having creating this organization with CBNA and CBCUSA, which is very powerful for our community, as those our religious leaders are our leaders. So thank you for CPRI to making these peace talks and making this dialogue in media and having it publicized as well. And thank you for having me. I'm really honored and grateful to be a part of this discussion. And with my colleagues from the Falam leaders and also the CCI leader, thank you for both for joining us as well. And thank you, Dr. Shremang, for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. It's really, whenever we talk about peace with wholeheartedly, I'm thrilled. And I believe that encouraged me, that strengthened my faith as well.
Right. Absolutely.
Once I said that, I posted on my timeline. If it would bring our people together, if my dad would bring our people together in peace and unity, I would be willing to give my life over there. Kan nam remnale dai natan kan tan hawngaya tuna rong masoyangin thalai te nule patele sa khona lama te politician te po community leader kan zavain mo porna kan nei tikha kan soy ho vega lomam tu zana hibekin kan zaten community leader polin kan sa te kan tuan tlang lo anga mi si kan tuan tlang lo sle peace and unity kan nei lo slen kan mi puna hlau te ti mi tiang kha kan te mi ram leng lai klun pumpia kan da te korama mi pun malte wa change te 1 million man kanam lo leitum pumpia 2 million man kanum pe mati mi chimi lai fanga kan tenok sle kan tuan tu cham vi vo dingi mi pundang e pal ro dinga ke forever kum kwa tiang kha kan chang ding timi kha kan za ten kan te mi sirwa tu jana hibek chanan pe ro tam pi kan longoi CPRI kha CBNL CBC US in a top mission USA Chin Christian Association pokwa tu kha kom khomi to mi si chimi in public media kha tu back in discussion kan reason mi pol thon kan to thering tia kan ne mi wa zar khada boycott nai pakwa Sunday evening kan to theu mi si le nu kala contribution in to sak beding kan som be du chön imi kha kan ni chu zo back mi pun ra tuan tu mo upat nak kan pek thaidan nak lo hwan mi kan nei lo tan bul kan nei lo thei to ken kan hatuan kan mi pun ran ram lem pun hatuan tu pol kha kha rem dai te kan mi pun tum tami loting the na dinga khalkhat rem dai na po the ding and stepping stone we are just simply at the foundation where they can step on us chimi kha kan thian tak tak misti in testing kan lo som bedui malam kla e community chair kan zom ki chair pe ke Indiana Chin community asset some flam community whatever community we belongs to. Let's promote peace and unity that glorify our Creator, our God, and also that will promote the prosperity, the influence of our people around the world, and the huge opportunity we have as a people around the world. Tuzana, kanza te toka angai tu se chin mi pun chin ram la chin mi pun umnak mun kipa pathian na rami rem daina du dona zelena klang ram se katam pi kan long oi pathian an zaten thasolo patio ram se. God bless you.
God bless. Thank you, guys.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Đấy, ông Thở.
Cha.